There are a bevy of reasons to why the Giants lost the game on Sunday in that historical collapse against the Broncos. When somehow you allow 33 points in one quarter, let alone being the fourth quarter, and already having a 3-score lead prior to that. But who is actually to blame for the Giants' loss? Let's get into it. What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video. Quickly, before we start the video, as always, make sure you guys hit that like button and also hit that hype button. You guys have been killing that hype button, and it's really helped me out so far. So it really does a great deal for smaller content creators like me. So make sure you guys, before you leave a comment, make sure you guys swipe over there and hit that hype button. It really helps me out a lot. And also, I really want to talk about our sponsors of the channel, Sleeper. Be sure to check out Sleeper. You guys know what it is, the best sports app in the world. I cannot stress that enough. I've never been more happier to be sponsored by a brand than Sleeper. So shout out to Sleeper. 100% match up to $100 as long as you use the promo code 27 Squad. That's 27 Squad. And when you type in 27 Squad, not only are you going to receive that deal with the deposit match, you're also going to receive a free $20 entry. That's right, $20. You don't even need to deposit anything. It's going to come, as long as you put that promo code, you are going to get a free $20 for the month of October. So make sure you guys check out Sleeper, and of course, terms and conditions apply. All right, so I hope a lot of you guys had enough time to breathe, had enough time to, I guess, think about this loss and ease your minds a little bit and just say, hey, it's just a football game. It's just football. It's just sports, man. Do not, one thing I want to stress to you guys, do not let it affect your life. I'll be honest with you. I had to reflect on myself with how angry I was at the world. I just needed to pray to God. I had to get closer to God, because this game got me closer to God. I'm not kidding. Like, I just been like, man, I cannot allow this to affect my life. So guys, do not allow it to affect your life. I know this franchise will do that to you, but just a heart to heart from me to my supporters. You guys always are kind to me in the comments, so of course I want to reciprocate that. You guys are the best supporters I could ask for. So just ease your mind, guys. However, I say all that, and I'm probably still going to crash out in this video. However, there were a lot of things that happened even after the game, right? You had the Brian Burns viral, I guess, outburst.
117. Oh my fucking God, bro. The fucking they supposed to lose that stupid ass shit. Hey,
that he later clarified and said, guys, you guys are blowing it out of proportion. This wasn't about Shane Bowen or the call. Pat Hellman definitely gave him a call. Nick Bonito gave his credit to Jackson Dart. He said that, he's a lot better than we thought he was. And I actually appreciated those comments from Nick Bonito. And of course, he's going to say that because he got absolutely effing stonewalled by Andrew Thomas, and he was not able to do anything, to the point that they needed to line him up on the other side of the field. The most he's lined up on the right tackle in this entire season so far, and he still had goose egg. So shout out to Andrew Thomas and Jermaine Illuminar not giving up a sack to Nick Bonito. And listen, there's a lot of blame to go around with this game, okay? A lot of blame to go around. I'm sure a lot of people are blaming Jackson Dart because he missed some throws. It threw a bad interception. You're going to blame the defense, whether it be the coordinator, whether it be the players. And then a lot of people are blaming Brian Dable. This is what I really want to focus on. Blaming Brian Dable for the clock management at the end of the game. You guys know, we're not going to go into it too much. We talked about it ad nauseum at this point, how we got to this point. But I just want to fast forward and let's just talk about those 40 seconds left. There were 40 seconds left after the Giants marched downfield through penalties, 3 penalties to be exact, and found themselves in position to absolutely end the game right there and then. The question was, should the Giants have ran the clock out, or should they have scored like they did on the first play and then allow the defense to close out the game? There is a lot of talk about this, and I had to make a video on it. I personally think it's a very stupid argument to say that the Giants messed up in that aspect. There is no reason, absolutely no reason, why you should have it. I understand field goals. When you have a field goal, there is no reason you should wind a clock down towards the end of the game when you have to score a touchdown to win the game. There is no reason to put that much pressure on a rookie quarterback. Is ridiculous. There was a lot of talk about Tiki Barber, speaking of that, saying that how he put the Giants put too much on him, and that he shouldn't have all that responsibility, account, whatever. He was pretty much trashing Jackson Dart, saying the moment was too big for him, or whatever the case is. And shout out to Malik Neighbors for defending his quarterback already. Like I said, a lot of things happened after the game, but in this aspect, it is the most Giants thing ever. This is why it makes no sense to me at all, guys. Say if the Giants went in the other direction and there's 40 seconds left, it's first down at like the 2-yard line, and you just take a knee there and you let the clock wind down. Let's say it's all the way to like 10 seconds around there. You call a timeout and you then say, all right, let's line up again. Let's try to win this game or whatever. How confident are you that the Giants were going to score there? How confident are you? Now the Giants have no timeouts, and you know they're going to try to run the ball. They're not going to try to pass the ball in there. They're going to try to run the ball in there, and say you're not successful. Are you going to have enough time to get back in formation and spike the ball, or get back in formation and run another play? Do you really think? Imagine the Giants fumble that. Not no pun intended. Imagine the Giants wind the clock all the way down to 15 seconds. They call their timeout. They run a play. They're not able to get the line in time. Maybe they run another play, or they spike the ball and they still weren't successful. Or get this, or a false start happens, because you know the Giants are always due for a good false start. Let's say that happens. And now they're pushed back 5 more yards. They're at the 6 or 7 yard. Oh God, I did not just say that. They're at the 7-yard line, because after being at the 2-yard line, a 5-yard penalty. Now they have to score from 7 yards. That is the most Giants thing ever. And then everybody's gonna blame Brian Daboll for not scoring, for not wanting the Giants to score on the first play. And why did they take a knee at the 2-yard line? Why did they do that? They should have just scored and then make the defense win the game. If we needed a field goal, I'm completely with you. If we needed a field goal, you do what everybody else does. You wind that clock down to 3 seconds, you call your timeout, and then you put the game on the line for the kicker. That's fine. Touchdowns are harder than field goals. I would be so mad if the Giants had an opportunity to score, they intentionally took a knee, and then they couldn't score at the end of the game. I would be so mad. So, allow your team to fight for itself. Allow your team to fight for itself. Go out there and go fucking win the game. I'm not telling my quarterback, who has been on a fucking heater this entire season, to go out there and take a knee and wait for another opportunity to score because we're too scared. Go out there and win the game, and let's fight for ourselves. And unfortunately, we lost. That's our problem. But I would never coach my freaking players to take a knee right there. Unless it's for a game-winning field goal, I understand. It's a touchdown. It's so hard to do, especially against one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. He barely got in there. What's to say that he gets stuffed again? That's exactly what they did, and they still lost. Now, a lot of people are blaming Shane Bowen, as I was as well. But looking at what happened, I personally, this may be an unpopular opinion. I don't really know where other content creators lie on this. I don't even mind a defensive play call. Plenty of defensive coordinators rush 3 and prevent defenses. Plenty of them, guys. This is not just familiar with just Shane Bowen. It's not unique to him. Plenty of defensive coordinators in prevent defense. Hell, you put prevent defense on Madden, and there's only 3 rushers out there. They're playing prevent defense. The problem is, there is no reason at all that a team has 33 seconds and no timeouts to go out there and win the game. There is no reason for them to actually do it. These are NFL players out there with an NFL coordinator. These are the best in the world. And you let a team go down the field in 2 plays and go out there and win the game. That's unacceptable. For you to try to big brain that and say Brian Daboll shouldn't have trusted his defense to win the game with 33 seconds left and no timeouts for the Broncos, that he should have wound the clock down. For what? For what? Then the game. Imagine the Giants did not score on that drive, and they had a false start or whatever. They didn't score on the first play. They took a knee. And then you're asking, why didn't the Giants score there? That defense pitched a shutout for 3 quarters, 5 quarters to be exact, because the Eagles didn't score in the second half. Pitched a shutout for 5 quarters, and for you to say, I'm hearing this all over, for you guys to say that Jackson Dart and Brian Dable should have wound the clock down and score. For Brian Dable to just think that in his brain, like he's responsible for that, is ridiculous. Ridiculous. I get it if you need a field goal. Field goals are more understandable. You wind the clock down to 3 seconds. It doesn't take that long to kick a field goal. You go out there and win the game. The Giants needed a touchdown. It's much harder to score a touchdown than it is kick a field goal. You can't. There's just no way we're putting this on Brian Dable for clock management. There is just no way. And of course, we could talk about the kicker, Jude McAtomney. He's off the team. I don't want to talk about him anymore, but listen, if he kicks those extra points and the Giants don't have to go for a 2-point conversion try because of the prior missed extra kick, the Giants would have 35 points, and the Denver Broncos would need to score a touchdown to win the game. Would need to score a touchdown, not a field goal. That's all I'll say. You cannot wind the clock down and then expect yourself to score a touchdown. You go out there and you score the touchdown and you say, defense, do your job. Do your job. I watched that Detroit Lions team last night. I watched that Detroit Lions team with absolute nothing for their defensive backs. These guys might as well be Walmart baggers. Guys I've never even heard of in my life played their asses off and stop a high potent Buccaneers offense. These guys, you couldn't even name me who is on the Detroit Lions secondary. Completely stopped them. It does not matter. Shout out to Carl Banks for saying this. I might put the clip in there. It does not matter who is out there. Right? Does not matter who is out there. You have to go make a play. This is on the defense. I'm not even blaming this more so on Shane Bowen. I'm blaming this more so on the defense. Drew Phillips, how are you not aware of what's going on? Now, it was a dagger concept, guys. Dagger concept, if you guys don't know, is, I might put an image on the screen because I'm not going to just draw it with my fingers in the air, but you're going to have a dig underneath, and then that slot receiver is going to run a go route. That's designed to clear out any potential defenders and take away the attention to allow that dig route to get open. They run that, and it was kind of a botch play because Cortland Sutton kind of went upfield, almost looked like a post even. Bo Nix completely missed him, shot over him, and it ended up in the clear route's hands. Nobody ever throws the clear route on a dagger concept. Everybody knows this. And he didn't. Bo Nix even said that he wasn't. Marvin Mims was not even the intended target, guys. He threw that ball to Cortland Sutton. He missed, and Marvin Mims comes down with it. And Drew Phillips looks like he's completely confused about what just happened. There are like 5 guys next to Marvin Mims, and he comes down with the ball. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. And then you got Cortland Sutton completely mossing Deonte Banks. Listen, what can I say? Deonte Banks is terrible, but you got to go out there and make a play. And Cortland Sutton had that's a back shoulder. Back shoulders, I've always said this on this channel, are the hardest throws to defend as a defensive back. Hardest throws. But you guys got to be ready, man. You guys got to be ready. You guys got to go out there and win the game. So who is this on? For everybody to say that this is Brian Dable's fault for the clock management? Completely disagree, guys. Completely disagree. You go out there and you win the game. You don't go out there and try to play keep away, because that's how teams lose. We know that as Giants fans. You don't go out there and play keep away because that's how you lose. The Giants went out there and tried to win the game. And the offense, Jackson Dart did what he needed to do. He made up for that interception that ended up in a touchdown. He swung that back around and rushed himself into the end zone for a touchdown. The defense needs to do their job. And for 33 seconds, guys. 33 seconds. That's all you needed. 33 seconds and the game is over. And we win the game. After the entire collapse that happened, I would forgive you if you play defense for 33 more seconds. That's all I needed. And all it took was 2 passes downfield. What other team does that happen with? Let me know, guys, because it's happened twice already. What other team does it happen with? Stop playing keep away. That's how you lose the game. Because then things happen, fumbles happen, penalties happen. You get completely stonewalled. Then you wind up losing the game when you could have won it prior. A scared way to play the game. It really is. So, that being said, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We'll see you guys next time. Woo!